This happened when I was about 19, back when I used to babysit pretty regularly. It was for a family that lived in a quiet neighborhood, nothing out of the ordinary. I'd been to their house a couple times before, so I already knew the layout, knew the kids, everything. 2 kids, both under 10. Easy job most nights. That night started the same as always. The parents left around 7, gave me the usual rundown, and told me they'd be back a little after midnight. The kids were fine. We watched a movie, I made them something to eat, got them into bed by around 9:30. No issues at all. Once they were asleep, I just stayed downstairs in the living room. Lights on, TV low, scrolling on my phone. It was quiet, but not in a weird way. Just normal quiet. Around 10:45, I heard a knock at the front door. Not loud, just 2 quick taps. I remember immediately thinking that was strange. No one had mentioned anyone coming by, and it was too late for something like a delivery. I didn't move right away. I just sat there listening. A few seconds passed, then the knock came again. Same pattern. I got up and walked toward the door, but I didn't open it. There was a small window beside it, so I leaned slightly to look out. There was a man standing on the porch. Mid-30s maybe, hoodie, hands in his pockets. He wasn't doing anything aggressive, just standing there, waiting. I cracked the door just enough to speak through it, keeping the chain on. "Can I help you?" He looked at me and said, "Yeah, I think I have the wrong house. Is this 24? I told him no, it wasn't. He nodded, said, "My bad," and turned to leave. That should have been the end of it. I closed the door, locked it, and went back to the living room. But something about it stuck with me. Not what he said, just the way he was standing there before I opened the door. Like he wasn't confused, like he was waiting. I tried to shake it off. About 15 minutes later, I heard something from upstairs. A soft thud. I froze for a second, listening. Then I told myself it was probably one of the kids moving around in their sleep. It happens. Still, I got up and went upstairs to check. Both kids were in their beds, asleep. No signs of anything being wrong. I stood there for a second, just listening. Nothing. So I went back downstairs. I had just sat back down when I heard it again. This time it wasn't a thud. It was a door, slowly opening, upstairs. I didn't move right away. I just sat there, trying to convince myself I was imagining it. Then I heard footsteps. Light, careful. Not like a kid walking around, slower than that, deliberate. That's when my stomach dropped. I grabbed my phone and stood up, trying to stay as quiet as possible. I didn't call out. I didn't want whoever was up there to know I knew. I stepped toward the stairs and listened. The footsteps stopped, right at the top of the stairs. Right there. I could feel it. Someone was standing just out of view. I slowly backed up into the living room, trying not to make any noise, and grabbed the house phone off the side table. My hands were shaking at that point. I dialed 911 and kept my voice as low as I could. "There's someone in the house," I said. "I'm babysitting. I think someone's upstairs." The operator told me to stay on the line and get somewhere safe. I locked myself in the downstairs bathroom and stayed as quiet as possible. From inside, I could still hear movement. Footsteps again, this time moving across the hallway upstairs. Then something heavier, like someone bumped into a piece of furniture. Then it went quiet, completely quiet. The kind of silence where you can hear your own heartbeat. The police got there within a few minutes, but it felt way longer. I stayed on the phone until they told me it was okay to come out. When they checked the house, they didn't find anyone. But they did find something. The back door, unlocked and slightly open. I know for a fact I locked it earlier. I remember doing it after the parents left. There were also marks on the inside of the door. Scratches. Not random. More like someone had been trying to keep it from closing all the way. Or open it quietly. The officer asked me about the man at the front door. I told them everything. They said it's not uncommon for someone to knock first, see who's inside, then come back around. Test the house. See if it's an easy target. See if someone's alone. I never babysat for that family again, and I never opened the door for anyone at night after that, because I'm pretty sure he didn't have the wrong house. used to babysit for a family that lived about 15 minutes from me. It was just one kid, a boy around 6 or 7. Quiet, well-behaved. The kind of job where once he was asleep, you were basically just sitting around waiting for the parents to get back. I'd been there a few times already, so I knew the routine. Nothing about that house had ever felt off before. That night, everything started normally. The parents left around 7, gave me the usual rundown, and headed out. The kid and I watched something on TV for a bit, then I got him ready for bed. When it was time to go upstairs, he didn't move right away. He just looked at me and said, "Can you come with me?" I didn't think much of it. Some kids just don't like going upstairs alone at night, so I went with him. The upstairs was a narrow hallway. His room halfway down, a spare room across from it, and the parents' room at the end. Older house, a little creaky, but nothing unusual. I stayed with him while he brushed his teeth, read him a story, and tucked him in. As I was about to leave, he said, "Can you close the closet all the way?" I glanced over. The door was open just a few inches. I pushed it shut until it clicked. "Anything else?" I asked. He shook his head, but he didn't take his eyes off it until I turned the light off. Downstairs, everything felt normal again. I had the TV on low, lights on, just scrolling on my phone. The kind of quiet where you don't feel alone because you know someone else is in the house. About an hour later, I heard him call my name. I went back upstairs. He was sitting up in bed again, staring toward the closet. "Can you check it?" he asked. "What?" "The closet." I opened it and used my phone light. Clothes, boxes, nothing else. "It's empty," I said. He hesitated for a second, then said, "Okay." I closed it again and made sure it latched. This time, I stayed a little longer before leaving. When I got back downstairs, I noticed something I hadn't before. The back door. It was unlocked. Not wide open, just not fully shut. Like it hadn't clicked into place. I remember being sure I had locked it earlier. It's one of those things you just do automatically. I walked over, pushed it closed, and locked it properly this time. I even checked it twice. Then I went back to the couch. A few minutes later, I heard a noise from upstairs. Not a voice this time. A dull sound, like something bumping into wood. I sat there for a second, listening. Then it happened again. Same sound. I stood up and moved toward the stairs. I didn't call out. I just listened. Then I heard footsteps. Slow. Careful. Not like a kid walking around. I went upstairs. His room door was still open slightly, just like I left it. I stepped inside. He was asleep. But the closet door was open again. Wider this time. I just stood there looking at it. I knew I had shut it properly. I walked over slowly and pushed it closed again. It clicked. I stood there for a second longer, listening. Nothing. So I turned and walked out. I had just reached the top of the stairs when I noticed something else. The spare room door across the hall was open. I didn't remember it being open earlier. I walked over and looked inside. At first, nothing stood out. Then I saw the closet in that room. Open. And the clothes inside looked disturbed. Not neat. Not how you'd expect. More like someone had been moving through them. That's when I felt it. That shift. Where it stops feeling like coincidence. I went straight back into the kid's room and shut the door behind me. locked it. I moved a chair against it and kept my voice low when I woke him up. "Hey, stay in bed, okay?" He nodded immediately, like he already understood. I grabbed my phone and called 911. While I was on the phone, I heard it. Footsteps. Downstairs. Slow. Heavy enough that you couldn't mistake it. Someone moving through the house. The operator told me to stay where I was and keep quiet. So we did. We didn't move, didn't speak, just listened. The footsteps moved across the floor below us, then stopped. Right under the room. Right there. I could feel the kid gripping my arm. We stayed like that until we heard sirens in the distance. As soon as they got closer, the footsteps stopped. Completely. When the police got there, they cleared the house. They didn't find anyone inside, but they did find the back door, unlocked again, and slightly open, just enough. There was dirt on the floor near it, fresh, like someone had come in recently. They also found marks on the inside of the closet in the spare room. Scratches. Long, uneven lines in the wood. Like someone had been inside, trying to push it open. I never went back to that house. But I still think about what the kid said. About the closet. Because whatever got in that night didn't just wander through. It knew where to go. And it knew exactly how quiet it needed to be. I used to babysit for a kid who had a very specific routine at night. Not in a picky or annoying way, just things he insisted on. Lights had to stay on in the hallway. His bedroom door couldn't be fully closed, but it also couldn't be fully open. And before I went downstairs, I had to check under his bed and inside the closet. The first time he asked me to do it, I remember smiling a little. "Just so you know there's nothing there," he said. I figured it was just one of those things kids go through, so I played along. Checked under the bed, opened the closet, showed him it was empty. He watched closely every time I did it. Not scared exactly, more like making sure I actually checked. That night was the third time I babysat for them. Everything was normal at first. Parents left, we watched TV, I got him ready for bed. When we went upstairs, he stopped me halfway down the hallway. "Can you turn that light on first?" he said. It was the hallway light. I flipped it on. He didn't move until it was fully lit. In his room, I went through the routine again. Under the bed, closet, nothing there. I even made a bit of a joke about it, just trying to lighten the mood. "You're safe," I said. He didn't laugh. He just said, "You have to leave the closet cracked." "Why?" "So I can see if it moves." I didn't really have a response to that. I left it open just a little and tucked him in. Before I turned the light off, he said, "Don't turn the hallway light off." "Okay." "And don't close my door all the way." "Okay." "And if you hear something, don't come in right away." That made me pause. "What do you mean?" He shrugged slightly. "Just wait a second." I told him to go to sleep, but that one stuck with me. Downstairs, I kept the TV on low and tried to ignore it. Kids say weird things. That's all it was. Around an hour later, I heard something upstairs. A soft bump. Then another. Not loud enough to panic, just enough to notice. I waited a second, then got up. Halfway up the stairs, I remembered what he said. "Don't come in right away." I don't know why I listened, but I did. I stopped just before the top of the stairs and waited. That's when I heard it. A shift. Like weight moving across the floor. Not fast. Slow. Controlled. I stood there for maybe 5 seconds. Then I moved the rest of the way up and looked down the hallway. His door was exactly how I left it. Slightly open. Hallway lights still on. Everything looked normal. I pushed the door open gently. He was in bed, blanket pulled up, facing the wall. I almost turned around and left. Then he said, very quietly, "You didn't wait long enough." I just stood there. "What?" I said. He didn't turn around. He was still here. My stomach dropped a bit at that. "What are you talking about?" He finally turned his head slightly, just enough that I could see part of his face. "He hides when you come in." I checked the room again. Under the bed, closet, nothing. Same as before. I told him he was fine and that there was no one there. But I didn't say it as confidently this time. I stayed in the room a little longer, then went back downstairs. I didn't turn the TV back on. I just sat there, listening. The house felt different now. Not loud, just not empty. A few minutes later, I heard something again. Not upstairs this time. Behind me. From the hallway that led to the kitchen. A soft movement. Like someone stepping lightly on the floor. I turned around immediately. Nothing there. But the back door was open slightly. Just enough to let a thin line of outside air move the curtain. I walked over slowly and shut it. Locked it. This time, I stayed there for a second longer than I needed to. Listening. Nothing. I went back upstairs. This time, I didn't wait outside the room. I went straight in. He was sitting up now, looking toward the closet. "It moved," he said. I looked. The door was a little more open than before. Not wide, just enough that you could tell it wasn't how I left it. I didn't open it. I didn't check this time. I just stood there. Then I walked over, shut it, and moved a chair in front of it. He didn't say anything while I did that. We stayed in that room for the rest of the night. Door locked, hallway light on. Neither of us slept. Every now and then you'd hear something small. A shift, a creak. Once, something lightly touched the door from the other side. Not a knock, just pressure. The parents got back just after midnight. I didn't go into detail. I just told them I didn't feel comfortable babysitting anymore. They didn't argue, almost like they understood. I still think about what he said, about waiting, about how it hides. Because whatever was happening in that house had been happening before I got there, and he had already figured out the rules.